Well, hello, friends. Dave Trotter here with Awaken Magazine, and I'm so excited to be with some special friends today. A few of our Awaken Magazine executive contributors for the first of what we are calling Rise and Shine live streams. Now, it's probably not early morning wherever you are. I mean, I'm here in West Coast. It's 9 o'clock. I've already risen and shone a few hours ago. But the concept is that we want to rise up in our lives and shine that light, that amazing divine light that is inside of each one of us, and really shine our message to our world. And so I have invited a few of our executive contributors to join me each week on Wednesdays, 9 o'clock Pacific time, 12 noon Eastern, over the course of the next 5 weeks as kind of just an experiment to enjoy being with them so that they get a chance to collaborate. They don't necessarily get a chance to meet one another or have conversations like this. And so I guess I'm just doing it selfishly for them in some part. And then you guys get a chance to listen in to the conversation and receive of their wisdom and their stories and their heart. So today I'm so excited to have with us Vandana Sinha, Uma Alexandra Beepat, and Lily Lee. And so I want to give them a chance to introduce themselves and share a little bit about how they are serving the world. So if you guys don't mind, just, obviously share your name, where you are connecting from, where you live, and then how you're serving the world. So Van, do you mind going first?
Sure. Thank you so much, David. Thank you very, very much, because this is a wonderful morning. We were expecting the tsunami in the night, but we are fresh and proper, right? So good. Hi, everyone. And my name is Vandana Sinha, but my friends and my loved ones call me Van. So you can call me Van. I live in Orange County. And how do I serve the world? So if you see there on the screen, I call myself Master of Energy Fields. Now, the point here is that I have taken some time to kind of master how we can use our quantum field, the energies, the vibrations, the frequencies, to come into a state of alignment with our higher purpose, and our life in general. So that's what my expertise is. I run a lot of workshops, retreats. I take one-on-one sessions, and all of these are basically centered around the fact that we can heal ourselves by understanding what is there in our energy fields through, in terms of energetic impressions. So I not only, so I do quantum energy healing alignment work, timeline healing, going into different lifetimes, life between lives through the quantum field. I even do Akashic Records work. So those are the kind of individual things that I do. But at the same time, I also run workshops on themes, and that is the whole idea with these workshops, is to help you level up your energy frequency every time you do a healing, powerful energy container guided by me. So those are the kind of things I do. I am a meditation guide as well. So that's really what it is.
Thank you. Thank you. And if you haven't had a chance to listen to my interview with Van on Awaken Magazine on the podcast, you can find that on all the different platforms. And Van just moved with her family to the United States not too long ago.
3 years ago, just about 3 years ago, not 3 years, actually, another week from now.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah. So fun. All right. Uma, do you mind introducing yourself for a moment?
Absolutely. Congratulations, Van. That's wonderful. Hi, everyone. My name is Uma Alexandra Beepat. I am the CEO of the Lotus and the Light Metaphysical Center. I'm a soul alignment coach and spiritual mentor and healer. I have been doing this work since 2009. So in 16 years, I've had the pleasure of personally working with over 15,000 people. I am the author of The Awakened Life and the Amazon bestselling author of Chronicles of a Spirit Walker. How you can work with me, it varies. We can get a psychic reading, a spiritual assessment, energy healing, but mostly what I'm known for is guidance and mentorship for those that want to develop as a light worker, and also soul alignment coaching programs for those that want to have a more peaceful, balanced, happy life with everyday spirituality. I'm also the founder of the Everyday Spirituality Movement, and I love David and the Awaken Magazine. So fun story. My first book is called The Awakened Life. So when I reached out to David to find out about his magazine, I said, I feel we have to collaborate because we have the similar names. So thank you for having me. And I'm excited for this new project you're doing.
Thank you, Uma. It's great to have you with us, and wonderful interview with Uma available on all our different platforms as well. So Lily, introduce us. Look at this incredible background you've got in the midst of the cosmos.
Hi, everyone. Hi, David. I am actually so excited to be here today. Even with the Awakened Life, the Awakened Magazine, my website is awakeningstarseeds.com. I love this because this space is, all of us are actually striving for the same, to elevate consciousness, to awaken humanity. So I am actually a starseed activator, a quantum light language healer, and a multidimensional spiritual mentor. So everything that I do is totally, absolutely aligned to my current soul purposes. And that is to normalize light language, to actually activate your innate or so-called psychic abilities, but it's innate, again, normalizing it because we all have it. It's nothing special. If you want to tap into it, you can. And also to awaken any curious souls that would like to feel that they actually have a certain mission, perhaps certain purpose on earth, not just to enjoy life on earth. They actually have a certain purpose, certain mission. I would totally, absolutely love to help activate their abilities so that they can start truly enjoy their life on earth. And then they can start to accomplish their soul purpose with ease so that we can all help humanity and anchor that 5D or so-called new earth in. So I'm really, really excited to help humanity with that. And I definitely have many, many, many different offerings available, anything from membership, monthly membership, to programs to activate your light language, to understand your soul dialect, to how to decipher, to messaging, so on and so forth, to even premium programs, 6-month programs where I actually guide you from the very beginning. You thinking that you have that within, but you're not sure, not quite sure, to all the way literally to the end where within 6 months, you have all that activated, because I'm one of those examples, where I got activated. It's kind of like a light switch for me. So I'm really excited to be able to help others the same way.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you, Lily. I love that. Normalized light language. You know, I started when I was kind of more in the Christian context, speaking in tongues when I was 18. And boy, that's a big part of my life, and appreciate it. Hey, before we dive into our topic today, I just want to point out for those of you who haven't already, if you're not part of our subscribers, encourage you to subscribe to Awaken Magazine. We offer free content, interviews, articles on a weekly basis. And so if you go to awakenmagazine.com/subscribe, you can get that for free. All right. Well, today we are talking about the subject of manifestation or surrender. I'm not sure. You know, when I came up with these titles, I started reviewing them today and I was like, manifestation or surrender. I'm not sure. Maybe I could have chosen a better title for this, but the point is, how much of manifesting is what we're doing up here, what we're doing here, or what we're doing with our hands and feet, right? How much of it is between all of those things? So I'm curious about this and your guys' perspectives. So I want to start off with the very basic question that if someone has not ever heard of manifesting before, if you're talking to like a second grader, a third grader, and they're like, what is this manifesting all about? How would you describe it to them? So Van, would you mind going first, taking a crack at that? Oh, let me unmute you. You had a little bit of background noise going there. Okay, go for it.
Thank you, David. So quickly, manifestation for me is simply matching your frequency with the frequency of a desire. So what are we looking to manifest? We're looking to manifest a desire, a thought, something that we want in our lives. And we want it, but we don't know how. Now, the thing is that all of us operate in certain frequencies, basis not just what we think, but what we have experienced, what we have embedded in our energy field. So because of which we have a personal energy frequency or a vibration. Now, the desire on the other side, something that you want, has its own frequency and vibration. Only when you are matching in the frequency and vibration is when that actually comes to fruition. And that's in a very simple way, that's what I do with my work. So manifestation should be natural to us, but that's the work we need to do. So we need to align to those frequencies to make it happen, as simple as that. And that realization, it's a combination of things there again, not just thought. We all know that in the kind of work we do, both, the heart, mind, and soul, everything has to come into perspective, right? So manifestation, sometimes for some of us, for example, when I was younger, I felt that I manifest all the time. And because probably in my own journey, spiritual journey, my soul's journey, I've already done a few things. So some things came easy. Manifestation was easy on a number of simpler things in life. But obviously, when we're hitting the difficult parts in your soul journey, is when that becomes difficult. And that's where you're looking to align. That's where you're looking to do some work to come to the stage where your frequency and vibration matches the frequency and vibration of the desire. Mm-hmm. So that's what I would say manifestation is.
Okay, good. So matching, essentially, if I'm going to boil down, matching the frequency, my frequency with the frequency of that which I desire is what I'm hearing you say. Okay.
Absolutely.
Uma, how would you describe manifesting to a second or third grader?
I think Van got it, because it's alignment, right? It's conscious living. And most of the time, people are not living with conscious intention. So then bad things happen. And then we make up all sorts of excuses as to why bad things happen. Oh, God's punishing me. Or I just have bad luck. Or this is my karma in life. And really and truly just comes down to, well, were you consciously creating, or were you unconsciously receiving whatever it is that's around you? So as coaches, because we're all coaches, right? As coaches, what we teach people is how to get into that alignment stage so that they can be at their highest vibration, so that they're living consciously. And that's what brings in the higher vibe things like happiness, peace, joy, wealth, abundance, prosperity, things of that nature. So I think that was a really good way that Van described it.
Mm-hmm. I'm pulling from you consciously. Like, am I consciously creating, or am I unconsciously? I think you said just receiving whatever the universe is bringing my way.
Being susceptible, yeah. You talk to a friend on the phone and they're having a bad day, and you have empathy for your friend, and now you've lowered your energy, and now bad things start happening to you, and you don't know why, and it just continues. It snowballs.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Yeah. Lily, how about you? How would you define manifesting to somebody who's never even heard what it is?
I love the way that Van and Uma have explained it. But I'm going to, because I was going to explain it that way, but I'm going to say something different. So for someone that has never really heard of manifesting, I would say, yes, it is basically to attract what you desire. But how do you do that? Yes, frequency and so on and so forth. Absolutely. But you attracted by, imagine how you would actually feel when you actually have that thing. So the thing with humans is that we are taught to believe it when we see it. But in this case, the way manifestation actually works is you actually really have it. You don't need to see it first. So basically, you bring in how you feel. How would you feel if you have that new toy? Because we're talking about grade twos. How would you feel if you have that new video game? Or how would you feel you have that, I don't know, Nike runner? I don't know. Or how would you feel if you have that brand new Tesla, right? How would you feel? Focus. The first major thing is intention, or simply put, what it is that you want. What do you want? Because as humans, we often want lots of stuff, or we often change our mind. But if you can focus on one thing, what is it that you want? Focus on that first, or intention, right? And then focus on how you would feel when you actually receive it, or when you have that thing. How would you feel? Focus on the feeling. And that's what we mean when we say your vibration will match whatever it is that you're trying to attract.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Lily. I think one of the things that if I put myself into that second or third grader mindset, which I don't know, even as adults, I'm wondering, how much of us kind of, think that way. When you're telling me to feel it before it happens, and yet, I'm just so impatient. Like, I'm just so impatient. I mean, my kids are older, like my kids are 22 and 26, but I don't know. As human beings, I think we all kind of act like that second and third grader. Like, I'm feeling it, Lily. I'm feeling like you're telling me, but it's not happening. Or here's a great example. We are looking to put on kind of one of the first bigger Awaken magazine events in December. And there was a certain speaker that I really wanted. And I made the best pitch and was willing to, even make the investment financially. And they declined. Right? And I felt what it was going to be like with them up on stage and, whatever it might be. Lily, what am I supposed to do with this frustration? What am I supposed to do with this impatience? Or anybody who wants to jump in.
So what I would suggest is, first off, move back a little bit, step back a little. First of all, your first intention, the intention you already set, I would love to have XYZ as my guest speaker. And you did your part, because action is very important. Right? There's no point just to set the intention and say, okay, I want XYZ to be my guest, and you don't do anything about it. You're like, how come it's not happening? How come it's not happening? No, it doesn't work that way.
Because, or new job, or new relationship, or whatever it might be.
Absolutely. Because we are in a 3D reality, things happen a little slow, not like when we're in the other dimensions where, hey, we want Starbucks. Boom. Oh, there it is. Here it's not like that. You have to literally do the physical action to go to the store, drive there or whatever, and get a cup of coffee. So in this case, what I would imagine myself doing is step back a little bit. I already set the intention. I already did the best. You said the best presentation for this person, whatever. And then I would step back and I would say, well, if it's meant to be, it will be. Okay. And then I will then bring in the vibration or the feeling, right? Or the frequency of basically, hey, how would it feel like? Wow, if this XYZ is on stage. And then I would actually do a imagination work. Yes, some people will say, yeah, how we were brought up. Again, there's all this human programming. We're like, oh, imagination. Stop imagining, just do it, just do, right? But no, imagination is amazing. It's incredible. It's part of creativity. That's how we create, literally, right? Because we're all talking about energy. Everything is energy. So I would then start daydreaming, right? About, wow, how would it be like if I'm actually on stage right now with XYZ? Hey, I'm talking to X, I'm wearing this. I'm wearing the dress right now. I'm talking to XYZ. XYZ actually came over and shook my hand with, I don't know, his left hand, which I thought is weird because I thought it would be right hand, right? Oh, that's interesting. And just imagine and daydream how it would feel like when XYZ is on stage with you. And then put in the clarification, well, if it's for my highest good, that's going to happen. If not, thank you, right? It's not meant to be. I don't want it. If it's not meant to for my highest good, I don't want it. But if it's meant for my highest good, it will happen. And then release.
Yeah.
Let it go.
So, how about, for you, Van, when you think about this, one of the things that Lily's talking about, if it's for my highest good, one of the words that we utilized in the title of this was manifestation or surrender, which I'm not sure it's not an either one. But how much of it is action versus the surrendering, trusting the universe? How much of that surrender plays a role in this process?
It's equally important, I feel. So in my own journey, I took a long time to understand surrender. I was manifesting most of my life. And then when things became difficult with some things in my life, you start wondering as the human being, as a 3D, I know it all. I know how to visualize. I know how to feel. I do everything. Still, it doesn't happen. And that's where I feel a couple of things that come in. One is, like Lily said, you visualize, you basically have envisioned everything, and you have also somatically felt, experienced. But at the same time, it still doesn't happen. And there a couple of things come in. It's basically a manifestation of your inner world. There must be something within you that is stopping you from getting that. And that's what you need to heal and to work. For many things on a day-to-day, a very simple process that I use. I do it all the time because I'm running workshops every week, right? So I need people in my room and all of that. So I do things like, what would it feel like and be like for this workshop to be sold out? Show me how. Show me now. And that, when you do it very intentionally, and I'd follow it up with a Ho'oponopono prayer, simply because Ho'oponopono prayer, creates all those right vibrations of forgiveness, of acceptance, of love, of thankfulness, everything. And because I am very, I feel my energies all the time. I know when I'm releasing. I know that there was a block and this is working right now. It is working, it's realigning, it's recalibrating.
Can you give us an example of something that you were trying to manifest, that you were trying to call in, and that you were having a difficult time, surrendering, and then you were able to do that? Could you give us an example of something?
Yes, actually, I've talked about it in the podcast that we did earlier. But basically, the biggest time in my life was when I went through my miscarriages. Before that, for me, life was like, oh, I think and it happens. I think and it happens. And I was using energy work all those years as well, but I was on a material kind of a trajectory in life at that point. I loved it, I loved to manifest. But here came a time when I'm going through my miscarriages and nothing is happening. And though that was the time I really needed to go inwards to understand why it's not happening. I got my answers. And basically, once I understood, I've already elevated myself. I've let go of the block. And that was the time I remember when I was not expecting anything out of it. It was closed chapter, surrendered, totally. It's when it happened so beautifully, so automatically, I had to do nothing after that. And the other thing I would like to add in for you here is, whenever we are wanting something, we may think this is correct for us and this is what I want. So in your case, what you need to do is visualize your event to be of the highest vibration with the right people, the right ingredients. So that individual you're really hankering for right now, if you're meant to align after you've done some work on yourself, it will happen. If not, something better will happen. This I have seen so many times. And this is where I love the concept of surrender, because once I learned to surrender, things have happened in a beautiful, magical, synchronistic way of something even far better than what I would have ever envisioned or even wanted. So that's the beauty of surrender, to learn to live in flow and ease. Because every time we are hankering, we are creating barriers.
I love that. I'm not sure we use that word or that I don't use that word a lot here, called hankering. We hankering for there's like a song, like an old song when I was a kid, like hankering for a hunk of cheese. I think it was like some kind of advertisement. I love that word. I'm going to start using that. You're hankering for something, Uma. And I resonate with that so much, Van, because there are so many times in the process you can't see it, but then afterwards, after it comes to fruition, you're like, thank God I did not get what I wanted. Thank God this is so much better, whatever it is, So
And just one little thing I want to add, and that's of divine timing. So when I look back at my journey, about the miscarriages and everything, if I'd had the baby at that point when I wanted it, that time I was not spiritually evolved as I should have been. What a beautiful journey it was. What I learned out of it, what came out of it. So when I got it, it was obviously better. At the same time, I look back at the richness of the journey now. So it happens when you're ready. It is the divine timing, and you got to trust that.
I would also throw in here that I have gotten some things that I have manifested that I have really wanted. And then I'm in the middle of that situation and I'm like, man, this is a train wreck. This is not a good situation. But I got what I wanted.
True.
And then I had to figure out how to get out of it, So I think that's one of the things, Mandy and I host here in Orange County a every other month manifesting event. And one of the things that I tell the people that come is I go, you're an expert manifester. You are manifesting every day, all day, and you are so good at calling in what it is. The question is, are you being intentional?
Yeah.
Like you said, Uma, about what you're wanting to manifest, or are you just, unintentionally manifesting all these things that are coming into your life? So, Uma, talk to us about trying hard, putting effort in. You seem like a very driven person to me. Like when we've talked, you are like, you just get stuff done. You have a vision. You're a driving force. How much of that is, pushing? How much of it is allowing? How have you kind of navigated this process yourself?
100% allowing, no pushing. I just breeze through my days. But it's, your question was, should we surrender or should we manifest? And it's both, because it's the path of least resistance. It's closely aligned to law of attraction, right? And it's not called the law of effort. So I don't do any effort. What I do every morning is I meditate, right? I have what I call Merry Mornings, MERRY, meditation, exercise, Reiki, readings, yoga. And I don't book anything until afternoon. So you're like my first thing, because I sleep in late. I wake up whenever I want to wake up. And then I do my process, which is the merry process. And I don't really want anything. I just receive, because that's the fastest and strongest way of manifesting, is to be the receiver and not the creator of it, right? A couple things I wanted to say. We have more fun manifesting than we do when we actually receive the thing. So that's actually a normal part of the process. It's good when you receive the thing and you don't care about it anymore, because that's not what we're really here for. We're here for the process of the manifesting. So that is also too an important part of the process. When you receive it, let's say you wanted this new car and you got the new car, right? And then you're like, I'm bored. That's good, because now you're going to go back to the first step. When I teach manifestation to my clients, I teach it in 5 steps. And the first step is like the beginning of what you want. So when you've gotten the car, then you're back to step 1 because you're bored with the car. Now you want a Hummer. Now you want a fleet of cars. Now you want a car rental service, right? It just grows. And I find like a lot of people resist the growth, right? So it is both. And there's no effort. And when I try to tell people that, they're like, oh no, but look at how much you've accomplished. And I say all the time, but that's how it works. I just wrote my 3rd book. I reached out to you about it. I woke up one morning and everything just aligned for me to write this book. And it took me 12 hours and I wrote a book in 12 hours. And it's going to be one of my favorite books because it's a tribute to my parents, right? Because it's their 50th wedding anniversary coming up. So I'm going to immortalize them by writing about what they've shared with me, the 50 lessons I've learned in their 50 years. And I'm going to share that with the world. And isn't that beautiful, right? That's such a beautiful creation. And I didn't effort about it. The only question I had for the universe was, what could I give my parents? They're rich. They've been together 50 years. They have everything they want. But what could I give them that would be meaningful? And I didn't force the topic. I asked this question 2 months ago when I knew I was going for the trip, right? And I just sat with it and I left it alone. And literally a week before I'm supposed to go on this trip was when the answers came in. So timing, I think Van talked about timing. It's very important that we understand that our higher self is driving this whole thing. And if we could just allow ourselves to be the passenger, everything just works out beautifully. That speaker you wanted didn't work out because that speaker has free will. But if you keep staying with the energy of what you thought that speaker was going to create, then what you do now is you allow another speaker to come in at half price that is available, that maybe don't have to travel far, that will bring even more of what you're wanting. So I would say to you, focus on what you wanted to create still, but take the speaker out of it. And then now the universe will provide you that speaker that will give you everything you want and more.
Man, I'm getting like a free coaching session this morning. This is awesome. I love this. This is great. I got 3 coaches all in one session. This is amazing.
Triple threat.
Yeah, it's so good. I love how you said it's the law of attraction, not the law of effort.
Yeah, I say that to my clients all the time. It's the law of attraction, not the law of effort. You're doing too much. You're doing too much.
Yeah, amazing. So I do want to encourage those of you who are watching, if you have a question for one of our guests today, feel free to pop it in the YouTube chat. We will see that, and I'd love to be able to share that with them. I want to ask you, Lily, how do we know when it is time to set intentions? When is it time to be feeling somatically what it's going to be like, that I already have it? When is it time to surrender and let it flow? And when is it time to put like hands and feet to work, like to actually, take action? Can you help us figure out that timing of those things? Because that can be challenging for me.
Yes, absolutely. I love that question. So the whole entire process basically starts with an intention, starts with whatever it is that you want. And then basically you have to do the actions, right? You have to do the actions to get the ball rolling, so to speak, because there's no point just intending and you don't do anything. As I already mentioned earlier, we are in 3D. So you do have to do some action, get some things done. And then once you do that, then just allow things to flow through, allow things to come through while keeping your vibration high, or the same vibration, same alignment, because alignment for me has always been the key. Okay, so for me, as soon as I align to whatever it is that I would like to do and decided to step into my soul purpose, so to speak, then everything aligns for me. And even though I can see the vision of where I will be, I don't know how to get there, but I trust. Right, I trust. So every time something comes to me, as in stepping stones. So I think this is where your question comes in, David, where stepping stones or things come to me, then I will discern whether or not if it's something that I would like to take action on or take that opportunity, or should I just leave it? And how do I do that? I do that by going within. I go into my intuition, and I do teach you how to train your intuition. You can actually train it because, as I mentioned before, we all have these innate abilities, which there's a gatekeeping way of saying it, psychic abilities, but we all have it if you wish to tap in, and there's a way to train it. So I would tap into those innate abilities. I would tap into my innate guidance to see if it's a yes or no to take up this so-called opportunity. Is it for my highest good? Mm-hmm. And if it is, I will absolutely go for it. Mm-hmm. If it's not, I will just leave it, and I will wait and keep my eyes open too, right? Not just wait, because often what happens is that there's so much opportunity, so many messages around us. It could be our guides, our higher self, this and that. but we are too busy. Our mind is not quiet. That's why meditation, so to speak, really helps. But some people, they cannot so-called meditate, meaning sitting there and go, right? Maybe that's hard. And so another ways of meditating, so-called meditating, is go for a walk, right? Or go for a drive, because your human is busy, right, driving, whereas you can actually tap into your higher self and stuff, and that's where messages comes through. Or washing dishes, sweeping the floor, right? All of that stuff. That is where you can actually receive guidance, right? That's where you can receive guidance. So that's what I would do.
Cool. Thank you. Uma, I'm curious about resistance. Like, so if I've had the vision, I've taken action, as Lily said, I'm now surrendering, but I'm coming up against either challenges, people are saying no. How do I know the difference between I need to be tenacious, I need to be resilient, I need to be like continue to take action appropriately, or am I grinding? Am I like not trusting? How do I feel the difference between that?
So it's absolutely grinding, right? Because there's nothing wrong with what you want. Everybody's going to get everything that they want. That's the way the universe, the earth is set up. It's a vibrational reality, right? So your desire is valid, but the way you go about your desire is what's creating the resistance. So when I have my clients face resistance, I tell them ignore it. It doesn't exist no more. Pretend it, don't put any attention on it, because if you're already feeling agitated and then you're putting attention on it, it's just making it worse, right? So think about like when you're making a meal for your friends, you have different pots on the stove and you have to cook all the pots at the same time. You can't just do one after the other because then the meal will never get done. And then you won't be able to sit with your friends and have a good time, which is really what you really want. You have to put your attention on the different pots. And that's how manifestation works. We want to manifest losing 20 pounds, going on vacation, becoming a millionaire, marrying the love of our life. We have different things we want to manifest. So if in one area it's not working or you're finding resistance, ignore it. If your partner is not moving fast enough for you in getting married or whatever, ignore that relationship for a while, meaning don't worry about it. Don't stress about it. Refocus on your career, refocus on your health and wellness goals. And that's how you fight resistance. There's two things too that I say when people are really stuck. It's like, if you're in a negative downward spiral, so let's say you really want something, right? Let's go back to the speaker. You really wanted that speaker. And then you start to go into a negative downward spiral. All the thoughts are just getting more negative, more negative. There's two things I recommend: either meditate or go take a nap, because you have to break the spiral, right? And if you find you can't meditate because you're still thinking about it, just go take a nap. I take a lot of naps, by the way. I nap like 2-3 times, a day, a week. I nap a lot. But the thing is it breaks the cycle. If it's not that bad, then you're tasked with the job of raising your energy and your vibration. So if something I'm resisting, it's really, really bad, I'll talk myself through it and I'll raise myself up through the scale of emotions. So I'm feeling depressed about this thing. Okay. But it's normal, because I know the laws of the natural laws of the universe. And I understand that this is part of the human nature. Okay, that makes me feel a little bit better. And I know I'm going to get what I want in divine timing, because I want it. And that's all I need to do is just want it. So I know I'm going to get it. So I don't have to worry about getting it. I'm going to get it. Oh, but I worry about timing. Yeah, but that also works out too. You've lived long enough on this planet to know and see everything you've ever wanted manifest. So maybe the timing that you want it for is incorrect, and you're not seeing the bigger picture, but your higher self is seeing the bigger picture. And you trust your higher self, because look how far you've come. Look at the things you've accomplished and created. So I'm just going to allow myself to sit back, maybe go to lunch with my friends, have a nice glass of wine, chill, go to the beach, take a nap, do a puzzle. And I'm just going to relax about it. And then that's how the inspiration starts coming in. A lot of times when people are manifesting, they're trying to create the thought. But the best manifestations come from inspired thought. And what you're trying to do is create the space for the inspired thought. So if you have resistance, it's a good thing, because resistance is showing you that you really care about this thing. You're really going to get it way bigger than you think you're going to get it. And you have to now learn how to relax into the resistance.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Uma. Van, I tend to be more, if there was a continuum along taking action and surrendering, I would definitely be more on the taking action end of the continuum. And in working with clients myself, I have found that some in the process of manifesting can, from my perspective, over spiritualize the surrender component of it because there is a fear of taking action or anxiety about putting themselves out there or a fear of actually making the request or whatever it might be. How do you view the possibility of over spiritualizing surrender? Does that make sense?
Absolutely. Actually, I've experienced it. So I will do it. I will tell you. We do have to learn to surrender, but at the same time, taking action, because we are here in this 3D world, is very important. So intentional action is what works. You got to know what you want. Yes, we do all the visualization, intention, thinking, creating the space. But action is very important. It won't walk in on its own. You got to do something about it, right? And therefore, there you have to trust and surrender that those actions are intentional. You're connected to your higher self, and you're taking the appropriate action. So I allow myself to take all the appropriate actions for me to experience this or for me to fulfill this need. Show me how, show me now. I always work like this. So I'm always connecting to my divine self, to my higher self, and asking for guidance. So I do what I need to do, I surrender it, and I leave it. And I have seen many a time, especially for me, obviously the things are always on a bigger nature because we are generally there in the journey. The smaller things are easier, the bigger things are where you have trouble. And that's where I have seen there has been a time in my life I'm going through in a very difficult phase personally, and my professional work is like kicking in like there's no tomorrow. And I'm like, so I would have wanted this. I have been wanting that to happen for me for a very long time. And here it's now coming to fruition, and I'm going through a very tough personal challenge. So what is it? What do I take from that? I take from that I am being tested on my resilience. And this is my divine timing, that I have to trust the universe that come what may, even if this is happening with you on a personal front, this too shall pass. And you got to trust and step into your divine power and just do what it takes. So you got to do what it takes with trust, with surrender, and with intention.
Thank you, Van. I want to give you guys the opportunity to ask one another questions. All right. So as you have been hearing each other kind of share your perspectives on manifesting, who has a question for someone here in the circle?
I can ask one question here. We're all in this very wonderful time now of awakening. And I think, David, what you're doing with all of us, giving us all this amplification and creating what you're creating, we're in this perfect time. We see around us suddenly people waking up, those who weren't in this journey at all, who didn't feel like it, they're now stepping in. So where do you all see this headed? Because I feel the healings, the manifestations, all of it is so much faster. Because earlier you could have spent a longer time working on yourself and coming to a certain reality, but now it happens like this because the earth has moved. We're in a new time with new shifts, new energies and vibrations. So given where we all are, what is your take, all of you? Like Lily, what do you feel? You're the star seed here. You want to hear the cosmic input here.
Who wants to go first?
Pardon, who wants to go first?
I'll go. The collective consciousness is definitely growing, right? I started my business 16 years ago, And back then it was like, what is Reiki? What are chakras? And now when I have clients coming in, it's almost like they're directing me. They come in and they're like, I want to do this program. I want to work with you for 6 months. And it's there's no like sell or anything, because it's just, they already know what they know. So I like that as a healer. I like that because for me in the beginning, it was a lot of trying to explain the concept of you're an interdimensional being, right? And this lifetime is one of many lifetimes. So now that I feel like my work is more meaningful now, because the people that are coming in, they're already there. So now they just need like a guide or an assist or a facilitator to help get them out of their own way to further advance it. And, my personal goal is to elevate the consciousness of over 1 million people before I go and before I transition. That's what I really, really want. And I know I'm going to manifest it because that's my goal. And I feel like if I can contribute, I call them muggles, people that are just living in 3D and just happy in 3D. I call them muggles, right? Like from Harry Potter. And if I can convert 1 million muggles into this lifestyle of understanding, wow, my soul is important and I need to be more in touch with my soul, I feel like I'm going to contribute significantly to the shift in conscious community. And I feel like as healers, we all have to have our end goal. And that was going to be my question after everybody answers Van's question is, what is your legacy that you want to leave on the planet before you go, or your destiny, as mine is the 1 million people?
Wow, I love that, because I have something similar in the sense that I actually have a goal of awakening 5 million star seeds in the next 5 years. And of course, everything I do, I didn't mention it earlier, is actually totally aligned with elevating or speeding up cosmic disclosure. And it will be absolutely incredible, because I think many, many, many of us are already awakening to, we're a little bit more than just humans. We must be something more than this. So I've heard a lot of people say, like exactly what Van and Uma has said, which is things has been a lot faster now. Like people are getting it a lot faster. And maybe I am one of the examples, because literally I think I started doing this only 2-3 years ago, literally. And here I am, because literally as I mentioned, when I step into my soul purpose, everything just clicked, right? And I didn't really go through any training for years and years and years and years. I literally just got activated. It's like a light switch, and it's switched on, and here I am, because I've been doing it for literally many, many, many different lifetimes, and it's just a remembrance. So I think a lot of us have that remembrance. Again, if we wish to tap into it, I'm keep on saying that only because we all have free will, right? We're all here to create a reality, whatever reality it is, right? If you wish to actually awaken to who you truly are and help humanity, then hey, you can do it. Just come out and look for any one of us. For example, if we resonate with you, then come out and reach out to us, and we can help you. So all of us can help humanity as a whole, right? So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, because
I have to say something here. This is so interesting what both of you just said. Okay. I have a personal mission of helping countless souls on their journey of, elevating their vibration and awakening, and so that we help this planet. And it's interesting that we all have certain kind of thought processes which are just, in a little phrase, if I would say, we are similar there. So that was the synchronicity here. And David has facilitated that. So isn't that interesting?
Yeah, it really is, truly is. I love it. Thank you, David, for putting this together. Right?
Yes. Yeah, David.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think you guys mentioned 1 million and 10 million. I mean, I'm going after 1 billion. I mean, I don't want to up you or anything, but Kidding. I don't have a number in my head, but I do think big, like you guys do. I love that. I love thinking big about, there's no cap, right, to what we can do and how we can make an impact in the world. For me, for whatever reason, what comes to mind in this moment actually is COVID. And whether your different perspectives on how that happened or why that happened, I just think of it as this great pause. I talk to so many people that had this pause, had this experience, and then their life was changed because in the midst of pausing, just like with meditation, I mean, it was almost like a big, long meditation for our whole universe, is to go, is this all there is? Is this relationship? Is this job? Is this body? Is this life? Is this really all there is? And so many people answered with, no, there's something more. There's something greater. There's something that I'm being called to. And so many shifts as I talk to, healers, teachers, coaches, and seekers go, my life changed because of that pause. And so I think it propelled us forward. And I think about even the conversation that we're having today, that when we're talking about manifesting, so much of that requires me to pause. And because I am a doer, right? I'm doing, having fun. I have fun doing. And then when I pause, it requires me to go, is this the path that I want? Is this what I want to feel? Is this what I really want to intend? Is this what I'm really trying to manifest? And then there's a shift. And then oftentimes with that pause comes a propelling forward in a different way that is not necessarily linear, that is somehow exponential, right? And I said that so many people, because of that great pause, were propelled forward exponentially. And a lot of that is connected to consciousness, mindfulness, spirituality in some way. And so in as much as COVID was just a horrible curse, for our world, in a lot of ways, it was a gift to so many of us to cause us to pause and then be propelled forward, in some way. So that's my perspective of kind of what's happening, and that there's a exponential growth, exponential movement forward. Uma, you said you asked a question. Can you rephrase it for us?
What is your legacy? What do you want to leave the planet when you leave?
Yeah. Van, do you mind going first?
Yeah, thank you. So I would, I just kind of touched upon it. My mission is to help countless souls on their journey of ascension by understanding their vibrations and lifting the vibrations. And therefore, when we contribute at a mini level individually, we're helping raise the vibrations of humanity, of this planet. And cosmically, we're aligning to better, journeys for this planet, for the race. And who knows where we are connecting interdimensionally, right? So that's what I believe. Exactly the same, like we are multi-dimensional creatures. And when we do this, when we have already elevated to a certain vibration, we will connect to the wisdom that is available in the cosmos, which is beyond the 3D that we can see and feel right now. And that's my intention. Thank you.
How about you, Lily?
Yeah, so with me, I did mention earlier, so literally is just, I wouldn't say a legacy because I don't see it that way, to be honest. I think for me, it's more like, this is what I'm supposed to do. So I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do, then I'm out of here kind of a thing. So what I am supposed to do currently right now, because I know it changes, is that literally I'm here to accelerate cosmic disclosure by normalizing light language and innate psychic ability so that more starseeds or curious souls, you don't have to be identified starseed, right? More curious souls would want to awaken to their soul purposes, to their who they truly are, so they can start helping humanity anchor in. And it's not just getting to the new earth. No. Anchor it in, because lots of people are already helping to get to the new earth. I want to be here to anchor it in so that we can be there, and humans can start enjoying our life, our 3D life, because you hear so many people suffering just from the day to day. They're trying to get ends meet, and they're trying to get food on the table, clothes, whatever, so on and so forth, a place to live. They don't get to enjoy their life. That's why a lot of the souls, that's why I'm here. If you happen to be a curious soul and you happen to be in one of those places where you're like suffering, because when you're suffering, or when you're in the 3D reality, I should say, in the hamster wheel, you're not going to think about what my soul purpose is. You have no time for that. You don't care. What you care about is, how am I going to get food on the table next, right? But that's why I'm here. If you feel like you have a soul purpose, I would love to help you, assist in clearing your dense energy that is bogging you down. Just like if all of the things that we talk about today, if you actually still feel like, I still can't manifest, I still can't, well, then perhaps you have a negative karmic loop, a karmic pattern, perhaps contracts or vows or so on and so forth, that is in your divine soul blueprint, right? And that's where I actually do have a session, a package where I can help you activate whatever it is your divine soul blueprint is. I have a report for you in very detailed, and also with regards to what's actually blocking you, and help you remove those energetic blockages and your next steps. So if you feel like you're still stuck with, all the other manifestation tools, then perhaps that is one of the reasons why you are still that way, like you cannot manifest the way that you're hoping that you can. But the truth of the matter is, we all can manifest, because we all manifest, either good or bad, right?
That's right. That's right.
So we have to, the first step in all of this is to first recognize and take your power back and say, I am a powerful manifester, and take accountability for all the bad things that you manifested too. Because when the bad things you manifest, you can say, oops, I did that. Because once you realize you did take your power back, you manifest the good and the bad, then you can start manifesting the good. Okay. So that is the tricky part.
I love it. I love it. Thank you, Lily. All right. And people can find you, Lily, on awakeningstarseeds.com, which you so easily put for us on the screen. And where can they find you on Instagram?
So another good way to actually find me is go to my Linktree link, because it has everything, all of my social media on there. It's a Linktree link. I think you do have it, right? I don't want to say the wrong thing right now.
No worries. No worries. They can go to awakeningstarseeds.com. Uma, do you want to answer your own question?
My legacy? I feel like I created my legacy in my two children. My two boys, they're in college, but they're very special because they've been trained in the metaphysical spiritual arts since they were 6 years old. So they are Reiki masters, access bars practitioners, meditators, yogis. They have all the knowledge. And just to see them and how they move around the world and how they impact others, I'm like, this is my legacy. It will live on through them. It will live on through my books, through my YouTube channel, all the teachings that I've given to all the thousands of students, that have come through my studio doors. That's how my legacy will live on. But my interest right now is not even so much the 3D world or the inhabitants of the world. It's somebody mentioned it earlier. I've been going more into the other dimensions, and I've really been loving doing work there because it's, I think like after a while, because I've been doing this so long, right? I'm coming up to 20 years of doing this work here, and there's so much we can do, right? So then it's like, I don't want to stop my own growth. So for me, I've been really enjoying traveling to the other dimensions, meeting interdimensional beings and having conversations with them. So I channel, like Abraham Hicks and Cryon and Czar, I channel, and I really love doing that work. So I think I'd like to focus more in my later years on creating more channelers here on the earth, more oracles, more mystics. I think the world needs that.
Thank you, Uma. And where can people follow you and connect with your work?
Yeah, my website, thelotusandthelight.com. My link tree has all the links to everything, my YouTube, my Instagram. I am a TikTok live streamer. So I do readings and metaphysical talks on TikTok, on YouTube. So I'm everywhere. Just, look for me, Uma B1111 or The Lotus and the Light, and you'll find me.
Wonderful. Van, tell us where people can connect with you and how they can work with you.
Sure, thank you. So my website is www.vansinha.com. It's my name, VANSINHA.com, and it has all the things there. I'm available on Instagram as Vansinha_coach, the same on YouTube, where I host a whole lot of meditations that are available for free. I'm currently running a series of workshops in Orange County, and as we talk today, tomorrow is a workshop on energetics of money. And it is all about manifestation, where we will work to realign and recalibrate your frequencies and your relationship with the spirit of money, which is also a conscious energy field. So how do you feel about money? How does money feel about you? What are your hidden imprints there? And when we come to alignment, it should be easy, it should be flowing, it should be natural. So those are the kind of workshops I offer every week in Orange County, and so available on website, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Facebook. But my website is key. You'll find everything there.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I will tell you, Uma, in this season, my mission, and I'm hoping that this season of my life is elongated. Like I'm 52, I got 48 years left to live. So
or more.
I've only lived half, right?
Or more.
Right. But I feel so strongly about helping you guys, conscious leaders, healers, and coaches, to amplify your voice. Because if I can help you get your message out there and you to reach more people with that love, that healing, that transformation, that awakening that you facilitate, that you help them with, that will light me up. Right? I can only do so much in and of myself, but if I can help you guys fulfill your mission, right? I feel like that's my mission, to help you fulfill your mission in, small and big ways with the different things that I do and we do with Awaken Magazine. That makes me so excited. So I'm so honored that you have chosen to be with us today to share your wisdom, your stories, your passion. And I love and admire what you guys are doing here in this world. So thank you guys so much for being here. And I do want to, before we say goodbye, bring to everyone's attention, next Wednesday, we have the topic of from burnout to balance. And how do we navigate, like how we utilize our energies here on this planet? And so we've got Dinah Simpson, Steve Brown, and Tiffany Churchill, who will be joining us for that conversation on Wednesday at 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 noon Eastern, and that'll be available on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And of course, you can watch the replay. So, Van, I'm going to give you one sentence. And it can't be like this long run-on sentence with lots of ands and buts and ahs and ums. All right. One sentence to encourage people who are watching with us. What would you encourage them in terms of manifestation and consciousness?
Trust yourself truly.
Wonderful. Uma.
You're absolutely perfect as you are, and you're always getting it right, and everything is working out for you.
Wonderful. Lily.
You are a powerful creator of your own reality, and everything is within you.
Wonderful. I would say that we are connected and have access to abundance in all ways, and any separation that we sense or feel from abundance is merely a figment of our imagination. All right. Great to be with you guys today. Have a wonderful rest of the week.
David, thank you for having us.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. We had a wonderful time. Thanks.